Imagine driving down a quiet back road at dusk, completely unaware that the most dangerous animal in the entire country isn't lurking in a swamp or stalking you from the tree line. It might already be standing in the middle of the road. Today, we're traveling state by state across America to uncover the single most dangerous animal in each one, and exactly how you can avoid becoming a statistic. And by the end of this video, I'm going to reveal which one of these animals is actually the most lethal in the entire country. It's not the one you're expecting, and it's responsible for more deaths every single year than every shark, bear, and snake on this list combined. So stick around, because the answer might completely change how you think about danger in the wild. We start up in the frozen north in Maine, New Hampshire, and Vermont, where the biggest threat isn't a predator at all. It's the moose. These giant deer can stand over 6 feet tall at the shoulder and weigh up to 1,500 pounds, and every year they cause hundreds of vehicle collisions across northern New England. Because their long legs put their body weight right at windshield height instead of bumper height, these crashes are brutally lethal for drivers. And that's before you even factor in a bull moose during the rut, or a cow protecting her calf, both of which will charge with almost zero warning. Avoiding a moose collision mostly comes down to timing. Slow down at dawn and dusk when they're most active, watch for moose crossing signs, and if you spot one near the road, assume it will not move for you. On foot, never approach a moose, especially in spring when calves are around, and if one lays its ears back or licks its lips, that's your cue to retreat immediately. But while moose dominate the north through sheer size and unpredictability, the next threat operates in complete silence beneath the waves. Off the coast of Massachusetts, the recovery of gray seal populations around Cape Cod has pulled increasing numbers of great white sharks into shallow water. In 2018, the state saw its first fatal shark attack in over 80 years, and the great white has firmly claimed the title of the state's most dangerous animal ever since. The best way to avoid an encounter is simple. Stay out of the water near seal colonies. Avoid swimming at dawn, dusk, or in murky water, and never swim alone near areas with posted shark warnings. Moving south into the mid-Atlantic, the danger shifts again, this time into the leaf litter. In Virginia and West Virginia, the copperhead is responsible for more bites than any other venomous snake in the region. Its camouflage is so effective that most people never see it until they've already stepped on it. Thankfully, the venom is relatively mild, but the sheer number of encounters keeps it at the top of the list. Wearing thick boots and long pants while hiking, sticking to cleared trails, and watching where you place your hands and feet when moving through brush or wood piles will eliminate the vast majority of copperhead bites. If you think a snake hidden in leaf litter is unsettling, wait until you hear what's hiding in the water just a little further south. In South Carolina and Georgia, the American alligator and the eastern diamondback rattlesnake are locked in a genuine competition for the title of most dangerous animal. The eastern diamondback is the largest venomous snake in North America, capable of reaching over 6 feet long and striking from 2/3 of its body length, injecting enough hemotoxic venom to be lethal, even with prompt treatment. It's one of the only snakes in the country that can still kill a healthy adult, despite modern medicine. Avoiding both threats means giving freshwater edges a wide berth, never wading into vegetation-choked water, and giving any snake you encounter a distance of at least twice its body length, since a diamondback can strike much farther than most people expect. But even the diamondback has to take a back seat once we cross into Louisiana. This state has an estimated 2 million alligators, more than the entire human population of some other states on this list. They live in nearly every body of freshwater, from remote bayous to suburban drainage ditches, and daily encounters with humans have become simply a part of life. And yet, fatal attacks remain surprisingly rare here, because Louisianans have grown up with an entire cultural playbook to avoid them. The rules are simple but non-negotiable. Never swim in unfamiliar freshwater, never feed an alligator, and keep pets and small children well away from the water's edge, since alligators will mistake a small animal or a low silhouette for easy prey. A lot harder to follow once you reach Florida, which might be the single most dangerous state in the country for wildlife. Florida is home to 1.3 million alligators, the highest number of shark attacks of any state, and an invasive population of up to 300,000 Burmese pythons that have wiped out entire mammal populations in the Everglades. Bull sharks patrol the same shallow water where people swim and surf, and alligators have turned up in swimming pools, golf courses, and even living rooms. If there's one state where the water is never truly safe, it's this one. The same alligator rules from Louisiana apply here, but you can add one more. Never swim in canals or retention ponds, regardless of how tame the neighborhood looks, and avoid swimming at dawn or dusk in the ocean when bull sharks are most active in the shallows. From the swamps of the southeast, we head into the heart of the country, where the danger becomes far more subtle. In Kansas, Nebraska, and the Dakotas, the prairie rattlesnake rules the grasslands, sheltering old prairie dog burrows and striking at dawn or dusk. But South Dakota adds a twist that most people don't see coming. Free-roaming bison in places like Custer State Park injures more tourists every year than almost any predator in the region, simply because visitors forget they're looking at a 2,000-pound animal that can outrun an Olympic sprinter. Avoiding rattlesnake bites means watching your footing near burrows and rock piles, while avoiding bison injuries is even simpler. Never approach one for a photo, and always stay at least 50 yards away no matter how docile it looks grazing. And speaking of animals that people underestimate, nothing on this list is more surprising than what's waiting in Texas. This state has an estimated 9 million feral hogs, causing over $1 billion in damage every year and killing people in the process. It has more species of venomous snake than any other state, alligators along the Gulf Coast, and fire ants responsible for dozens of allergic reaction deaths nationwide. But the true king of Texas is the western diamondback rattlesnake, responsible for many of the state's snakebite fatalities, so abundant that a single roundup event in Sweetwater captures tens of thousands of them in one weekend. To avoid feral hogs, never corner one or get between a sow and her piglets. And if you're hiking in rattlesnake territory, wear snake gaiters and stick to open trails rather than tall grass. If snakes and hogs feel unsettling, wait until you hear what's crawling into people's shoes in Arizona. This state has a threat completely unique in the entire country: the Arizona bark scorpion, the most venomous scorpion in the United States. Its sting causes severe pain, numbness, and in rare cases death, especially in children and the elderly. Thousands of stings are reported every year, and because these scorpions squeeze into shoes, bedding, and dark corners of homes, they're nearly impossible to avoid entirely. The single best habit here is simple: always shake out shoes and check bedding before using, and use a UV flashlight at night, since bark scorpions glow bright green under black light, making them far easier to spot before you touch one. But while a scorpion sting might ruin your week, the next state's apex predator can end your life in seconds if you get too close at the wrong moment. In Montana, Wyoming, and Idaho, the grizzly bear reigns supreme. These animals can weigh over 1,000 pounds, stand over 10 feet tall, and charge at speeds of up to 35 miles an hour, faster than any human on the planet. Unlike black bears, a committed grizzly attack is almost impossible to stop without a firearm or bear spray, and most fatal encounters happen when a hiker surprises one at close range, especially a mother with cubs. Carrying bear spray, making noise on the trail, hiking in groups, and never approaching a carcass or cubs are the fundamentals that prevent nearly every fatal encounter in a grizzly country. From grizzlies, we move into mountain lion country. Colorado has one of the highest concentrations of these big cats anywhere in the US, and their attacks, while rare, are terrifyingly effective. Mountain lions ambush from behind, targeting the neck and skull, and they're specifically triggered by running, which is exactly what most people's instincts tell them to do. If you spot one, the correct move is counterintuitive. Make yourself look as large as possible, maintain eye contact, and back away slowly. Never run and never turn your back. California takes danger to another level entirely because the most lethal animal actually changes depending on where you stand. Along the coast, it's the great white shark patrolling the waters near the Farallon Islands. Inland, it's the mountain lion, with California hosting one of the largest populations in the country. And in the southern deserts, it's the western diamondback rattlesnake once again. Taken as a whole, the mountain lion narrowly wins the title here, simply because its territory keeps overlapping more with expanding suburban neighborhoods. The same mountain lion precautions apply statewide, and hikers should avoid running or hiking alone at dawn and dusk in known lion habitat. And now we arrive at the two states that don't touch any others, and both of them save the biggest surprises for last. Alaska is home to the largest brown bears on Earth, with Kodiak Island bears reaching over 1,300 pounds and standing nearly 10 feet tall on their hind legs. These bears dominate salmon streams and coastal regions, and an encounter in a confined space like a narrow riverbank is one of the most dangerous wildlife situations you can find yourself in on the entire continent. Their sheer size and power mean that once an attack happens, it's rarely survivable without immediate intervention. Avoiding a brown bear encounter means making noise while hiking so you never surprise one, carrying bear spray at all times, storing food properly away from your campsite, and never getting between a sow and her cubs, which is when the vast majority of serious attacks actually happen. Finally, in Hawaii, there are no native land predators at all. No bears, no venomous snakes, nothing dangerous walking on solid ground. Every threat here lives in the ocean, and the tiger shark is responsible for most attacks in Hawaiian waters, patrolling the same shallow coastlines where millions of tourists swim every single year. Avoiding sightings comes down to swimming in groups, staying close to shore, and avoiding the water at dawn, dusk, and especially in the fall when tiger sharks move into shallower water to feed. So, we've covered predators the size of pickup trucks, scorpions that can kill a child, and reptiles that have been apex hunters for millions of years. But remember what I promised you at the start. None of these are the most lethal animals in the entire country. That title goes to the white-tailed deer. It sounds almost like a joke, but deer are involved in more human deaths across the United States every single year than sharks, bears, and venomous snakes combined. Not through predation, but through vehicle collisions. Hundreds of thousands of accidents happen every year, most of them at dawn or dusk when deer are most active and least visible, and a startling number of them are fatal. There's no roar, no ambush, no venom. Just a 130-pound animal stepping into the road at 60 miles an hour, and there's nothing dramatic about it at all, which is exactly why almost nobody sees it coming. And avoiding this one is the simplest tip in the entire video. Slow down during dawn and dusk, drives in rural areas. Scan the tree line ahead rather than just the road, and remember that deer almost always travels in groups, so if you see one cross, assume more are coming right behind it. So, the next time you're driving through the countryside at dusk, remember this. You've just spent the last several minutes thinking about grizzlies, gators, and scorpions, but the animal most likely to get you is standing quietly in the tree line, waiting to step out in front of your headlights. If you learned something today, let me know which state animal surprised you the most in the comments, and I'll see you in the next one.